Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Candy Coated Conversations with your girl Candace, and I'm here with my co-host here, Coco and Sade. And you guys are welcome to co-host the show as well because we have an open panel. Everyone is free to come on up at any time. I do have a link to the StreamYard pinned at the top of the chat, so no need to ask for the link. Just click it up there. Come on up and join us. And you guys,
What
I
up?
am
What up?
like Coco. I have been getting sent information about this story all day, updates and everything. But just like you guys, I've even told people I'm not watching anything right now because I'm watching it later on. I'm not reading anything at all. Uh, but this story is definitely developing. I want to quickly say hello to anyone that's already here in the chat. Hey, Gold Digger. Hey, Linda P. Sharon Peterson, Star Olivia. Of course, Coco's already up here with us. Hey, Elise. Hey, Pookie. Hey, Cat Eyes. Hey, Truth will make you free. Look, this story is getting. I'm okay. Let me be honest. Just like I said at the end of the last night's show, and what I put on the title today. Look, did the player just get played because from episodes one or parts 1 through 10? Look, lady, the player just got played, because I feel like you were very much trying to be a user your damn self. So I'm not seeing where, you know, he took such advantage of you in episodes 1 through 10. Now, supposedly it gets real crazy. At the end of last night's show, you guys, we had discovered the husband. I guess he's going by the name Legion. Um, we played a little bit from his ex wife and now the stepson is speaking out. And you guys, we already know that everybody is jumping onto this story because this lady, somebody actually did a video where they estimated how much money this lady made. As you guys know, this thing is 52 parts. And they're like less than 10-minute episodes. So, 52 parts though. But they're estimating with the views that she is getting on this crazy story that she has made over $300,000. Now, look, I got some crazy X stories. Look, let me hop on the tail and spill my tea. Look, y'all willing to do that?
Okay.
Look, is anybody just put it in the chat? Put a one in the chat if you willing. In this day and age, if this is something that that you've gotten over or whatever, you willing to put your business out there like that? I want to know. Would you do it?
For 300K, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, you can know about that crazy damn ex. Look, I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna title mine "Why I No Longer Date Jamaicans." I already told y'all.
That's catchy as hell. I like it.
Why I no longer date Jamaicans. Here's a little story I have to tell you. Okay. Hey, Toya. Let's see. Okay. So, you guys, let's dig right into it because, I only plan on doing another 10 because that, with the commentary, and just so you guys, YouTube, you have to do commentary if you're reacting to somebody's stuff. You can't just play it through and zippity doo dah through it. So that's why we have to do the commentary. Oh, Stacy, you finally made it up. I was just about to tell you. But Stacy, welcome to the platform.
Hello.
Stacy.
Yes.
Hey, lady.
Hey,
So
baby. How you doing?
good. We're about
Hey,
to jump
Miss
into this
Stacy.
craziness.
Hi, sweetheart. How y'all
Yeah,
doing?
good, good, good. We're about to jump into the man. Stacy, you wasn't here last night, right?
No, I was in the background.
Oh, you was in the background, or you just didn't come on the stage. Okay, because I could have sworn I saw you in the chat or something. So you're abreast of the situation. We're about to jump in on episode 11. Let's go,
Y'all,
y'all.
y'all talking about this girl
Yes, yes,
that married
yes.
that boy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that bitch. Is stupid. All right, let's go on chapter 11.
Part,
I done
we're just
finished the
gonna
whole.
give you
I
some
finished the
backstory
whole thing,
on
but
the family.
yeah.
Pause all the stuff about the house. Pause the stuff about the car. This is
Oh,
backstory on his family, my ex-husband's family. All right,
mm,
follow me. My ex-husband's parents, mom and dad, are both deceased.
I'm going in my
Mom
bedroom.
passed away
Yeah.
from cancer. Dad passed away shortly
You ain't bring
after
the
her.
TV
I'm
neither.
not sure what he passed away from. So he has a number of siblings. He has two. With his parents, he has two siblings, two brothers, excuse me. Two brothers. One is older, lives in Philly. One is younger by 2 years, lives in Nashville. He has two sisters. One, Shantae, is older, lives in Douglasville with her husband and two kids, a boy and a girl. Younger sister, Kim, is the baby, lives in Augusta with her husband, worked at, I think he told me, Procter and Gamble. That was the story. He had two half brothers that were through his dad. One brother lived in Baltimore, the other brother lived in Augusta. The brother that lived in Augusta, I have physically met in person, shook hands, hugged, all that. The brother that lived in Baltimore, I have FaceTimed with, talked to him. The brother that lived in Philly, the older brother that he looked up to, I have never talked to him on the phone. I would always talk to him through my ex-husband. So the conversation would be like, "Hey, babe, brother so-and-so said, hey." He didn't call him brother so-and-so. We'll call him John. John said, hey. Hey, John. I would be in the bathroom doing my hair, brushing my teeth. Hey, John. And he'd be like, did you hear? He said, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. How's he doing? Because that's just me. And so he would relay back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He talked to John every day from starting around July after the grandmother passed away. He would talk to John every morning. We both would be getting ready for work and he would be on the phone with John. They would be talking for 30, 40 minutes, talking about football, talking about other siblings. They would be talking about cars. They talk, I mean, it was really like not a big deal. They would talk about the brother in Baltimore, they would talk about the brother in Augusta, and then they would reminisce. This is the conversations I could hear. Let me explain. When I say I can hear a conversation, what that means is I am physically standing near him or next to him where I could hear him with the phone up to his ear talking to someone, because it wasn't me. Okay. I may not hear the other person because the phone call may not be on speakerphone. But what I hear is, for example, I hear, hey man, what y'all doing? Oh, for real? Y'all barbecuing this weekend? What y'all making? Oh, that's what's up. Nah, I think me and her are gonna stay in this weekend because, you know, these numbers is looking crazy with COVID. Yeah, she over here. She's sitting right here. She watched the TV. Okay, hold on. John said, hey. Hey, John. You heard her? Okay. All right, bro. I just wanted to check in on you. That's the type of conversation I'm explaining.
Okay. So I have a question, because isn't this now we've all been in situations like this. Isn't it common sense, or doesn't it always happen that they put you on the speakerphone? Oh, you want to say hey? Here she is. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to pass the message. Put them on the speakerphone. Like that happens all the time. That's not even unusual. You know, I don't know. Is it just me? What was you about to say? Is that you, Sade?
Yeah, I was basically about to say the same thing that he just said. I don't like shit like that.
Like if
'Cause-
your brother, you're talking to your brother so much and you guys are so involved, why haven't you like introduced me to the point where I at least hear his voice on the phone, or he can say hello to me himself?
Right. Because he might not be talking to nobody at all. For real,
No.
for real.
And if he's sitting over there not talking to nobody, he really is crazy as all I
Yeah.
do.
Crazy
Okay.
as hell.
The only reason why I don't find it strange is because he was trying to get the sister to help her out when she had the miscarriage. So and
We don't know who that woman would have been.
and kind of felt some type of way about it.
Okay. Okay. Look. Okay. At this point, y'all, Coco's giving it a chance. She giving it a chance. Let's get back to it.
Okay, so I hope that that gives a little more clarity about the type of conversations I'm hearing. So, I don't know why this light keeps going out.
Why she not
Okay,
in her house?
so that's how he would talk to his siblings. The grandmother passed away. He called me around April or May and told me that his grandmother passed away. His grandmother, on his dad's side, had died suddenly from COVID. She had symptoms. She went to bed and did not wake up. He was distraught. He was crying. He wasn't eating. He was just sitting there, listening to music, not watching TV, just sad, because he was like, my grandmother was always my support system. So from what I saw, it really bothered him. I did not think anything of it. I'm one of those people. If you tell me somebody in your family passed away, I'm gonna believe you, because I don't play about death. And I guess I expect other people don't either. However, that is not the same for everyone else. But we'll get there.
Not he lied on
So,
Granny. Oh my
family.
God.
He had his sister
That's horrible.
Shantae, who lived in Douglasville. Like I said, she was married with 2 kids. Apparently she was a nurse. So when I had my miscarriage, that was a sister that he was like, my sister will take you to the hospital. Like,
Okay,
that's what
Coco.
family does. Okay. I had never met Shantae. I've been on the phone, or excuse me, I've been around him when he was on the phone with Shantae. Never heard her part of the conversation. But he would be talking to his sister. That's what he said. That's what it sounded like too. Now, what is interesting is that we lived maybe 35, 40 minutes away from Douglasville. So there were plenty of times that he had invited me to go with him to his sister's house. Okay, let me tell you how this would always work out. Total times he invited me was probably 3 times for different barbecues or whatnot. The first time he invited me, I was like, nah, I ain't going, because again, COVID. And she's a nurse. Hell no. The second time he was like, yeah, she invited us, but I don't think we should go because COVID. No. The third time I agreed to go. I was like, absolutely, I'll go meet your sister. Like, that'd be great. On our way to her house, to Douglasville, to go see the sister, apparently he got a phone call. The phone was always like on vibrate, but he got a phone call and he told me that something came up, and so she had to cancel the barbecue, the get together, whatever. And so I was just like, oh man, okay, well, hopefully we can go another time. It didn't happen close enough for me to have red flags, if that makes sense. But at this point, as y'all probably like, girl, you so blind. But again, I didn't think anything of it, because it's like, okay, it fell through. We'll see. We'll reschedule. And so we just went out to eat, and then he talked to another brother, the brother from Augusta that he would have on speakerphone. So it was like, I didn't think anything of it. I really didn't. Man, and the more I talk about it, the more I realize, like, I'm not a dumb person, but it just never dawned on me the things that you have to now investigate. It didn't dawn on me, but nevertheless, that is the backstory for his family, right? Grandmother passed away. 3 weeks later, he called me and told me his uncle had passed away from COVID. The uncle had tested positive, had to go into the hospital, and he died. It was a bit of a red flag. But like I said, I don't play about death. So I was just like, wow. Because of these two deaths, he became a stickler about COVID. And when I mean a stickler, wear your mask, wear gloves, hand sanitize, wash your hands. Like, he was annoying about making sure neither one of us caught COVID. So now I'm going to give you the backstory in regards to what I was told with the ex-wife. All right, part 11. So for this part, I'm just going to give you some backstory on the family. Pause all the stuff about the house, pause the stuff about the car. This is backstory on his family, my ex-husband's family. All right, follow me. My ex-husband's parents, mom and dad, are both deceased. Mom passed away from cancer. Dad passed away shortly after her. I'm not sure what he passed away from. So he has...
Y'all, if I found out this man's parents and his grandma is alive and well, I'm gonna die laughing because this is just too wild. And for all she going through, how come she ain't told us how the sex is? Is that too much? I mean, you telling us everything else. Is that too much? Because I really want to know how you were really, really snowed like this. Okay, back to the story.
a number of siblings. He has two with his parents. He has two siblings, two brothers. One is older, lives in Philly. One is younger by 2 years, lives in Nashville. He has two
Didn't
sisters.
we just see this?
One, Shantae, is older, lives in Douglasville with her husband and 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
No, she
Younger
going more.
sister Kim
Oh, did it run out?
is the
Hold on.
baby, lives in Augusta.
Oh,
I
it did
didn't
run
watch
out.
the. How
Huh?
long y'all been on here? How
We
long y'all
just
been on
came.
here?
We just came. She ain't talking about nothing, girl. We just came on. That's the first part. Okay, y'all.
Okay, I know I look rough, but
All
it's
she
okay.
said was that
It's
his
okay.
grandmama died from
Anyway,
COVID.
so this is
And she was
part
supposed to meet the
12
sister, but supposedly
of
the
Who
sister
the Fuck Did
canceled.
I Marry? So this is the backstory on what I was told for the ex-wife. This is important. Pay attention. All right. This is 2020. So this is what I was told in 2020. I was told that he and his ex-wife used to be friends. Then they started dating and subsequently got married. They got married in California. He had bought a house with the money that he made from arena football. They had apparently had gotten married on the
That arena football
downward
sound
of
like it's
the
paying more than
arena
the
football
NFL.
career.
Arena football
Had a
don't pay
nice
that
house. He
much.
showed me
I
pictures
know.
around,
That's
showed me
I'm being
pictures
facetious.
inside the house. Remember that? Showed me pictures inside the house. It was a really nice home in San Diego. And basically what happened was that he came home from work early one day and the hiccup, sorry. Came home early from
Why
work one
she always
day
got the hiccups?
and his wife was sleeping with another man. The man was in the house. He and the man get into it. Her son, who is about 17 years old in 2020.
Mommy taught me
She had 2
well.
kids, a daughter and a son. The son apparently was on his way home from school when my ex-husband found his previous wife in bed with another man. So the story goes that he and the guy fought. He kicked the guy out. He kicked his ex-wife out, but told her the kids could stay. The kids are not biologically his. Those are his stepkids. She was like, you must be kidding. Like, I'm not leaving my kids here. The kids are old enough to where they were like, we don't want to go because you fucked up. We don't want to leave. So apparently she leaves. The kids stay with him for a few weeks. And then she gets her own place. The kids move out, move in with their mom. He files for divorce in California. He files for divorce in California, and it was an ugly divorce. She was asking for spousal support, all kinds of stuff. And then it turned into, you know, I'll help you with the kids, not child support, but just I will give you some money for the kids, because apparently he was very close to the kids and he wanted to keep a relationship with the kids. Their biological fathers, apparently there were 2 fathers, their biological fathers were not in the picture. So um, the divorce starts out contested and ugly, eventually becomes amicable. Eventually, they become cordial with each other. So my ex-husband moved. This is all before he ever met me. So I'm telling you the story of what I was told in 2020. So eventually, about 2 years later, is when his job approached him about an opportunity to transfer to Georgia. And so he took it. New beginning, fresh start. He has family in Georgia. He took it. He told me this story pretty much the second or third conversation we had. So it was always from the beginning that she had cheated. He caught her, and he had filed for divorce, but he was still close to the kids. They still had a great relationship. I've heard him. I've heard him on the phone with the kids, just encouraging them, helping the 17-year-old like with homework. The kids really apparently wanted to meet me, and I was fine with that. Um, he would he would send them money, if they needed something, because he loved the kids as if they were his own. I'm telling you the story as I was told it in 2020. So let's see, around April or May of 2020, he informs me that his ex-wife has moved to Georgia. Apparently, she's staying with her sister in Gwinnett County. So she has moved to Georgia. The two kids are now in Georgia. And so when he tells me all this, I'm like, so what's that supposed to mean? Now, I will say this. He never made it seem as if she wants him back. He never presented that. It was always, no, we're cool for the kids. We're cool for the kids. Um, but he's never presented that she was trying to get him back. I feel like it's fair to her for me to say that. And again, stay with me. It all comes out. But that was the backstory in regards to the ex-wife, that they got married in California, they divorced in California, and then she eventually moved to Georgia, to Gwinnett County, after he had transferred to Georgia for his job. He did tell me that, every now and then he'll get a text message from her. He told me that he, told her when I was pregnant, he felt like she needed to hear that from him instead of hearing it from the kids. And we got into a bit of an argument about that, but honey, in the big scheme of things, that anyway, so we got into an argument about that. I felt like that's none of her business. But that's the overall backstory of her. So remember, because there will be a quiz, but just remember, he met her in California, married her in California, divorced her in California. She moved to Georgia, to Gwinnett County after he moved to Georgia. Are we clear? Okay. Okay. I know I look rough, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so
Okay, that one went quickly. So, yeah. Listen, let me get a couple of these comments that are right here on this thing. Somebody said the people at Google wonder why arena football is trending. Somebody said that arena football money was long. Somebody else said he done spent that arena football money 50 times. Somebody else said that man bragged too much about arena football. Not me Googling how much they make. Somebody said arena football makes $19 an hour. How he got 900K in savings? Teach me. Oh
And
God, people say
offshore accounts.
right in an offshore account because he don't want nobody taking his money. Okay, y'all. Let's go to number 13. Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm.
Why she keep saying pay attention? Is a quiz
Okay.
coming?
Part 13 of
I have no
the man
idea.
that I married.
Who gonna take a quiz?
So I've kind of given you
Us?
guys
Not
all the
me. Not
backstory.
me.
Let's just
Shit.
kind of recap real quick. So I told you how we met.
I don't understand.
Met in March of 2020. Basically, Georgia got shut down. I keep saying shut down, got locked down. We decided to quarantine together. I know it was crazy. It was crazy. Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
I really liked him and thought he liked me. So I told you guys how we met. Um, things moved at a rapid pace. Met in March, moved in together pretty much beginning of end of March, beginning of April. Found out I was pregnant in May. Lost the baby in June. Had to have surgery in July. Started looking for houses. Started looking at cars. All this stuff happened literally between March and the end of, excuse me, in August is when I got my car. So, um, got a car in August. He paid the down payment for that car. Um, which I was shocked by. And no, it was not a BMW or an Audi. It was a Nissan Altima. But I loved that car at the time.
Hell
Paid the
no.
down payment for that car.
He had a
Paid
Aussie
the
car
down payment for that
dealership.
car payment. The biggest mistake that I made, and I'll explain why I say this. The biggest mistake I made was that I signed myself up for a car note, where I knew I needed his help to pay the car note. I knew better. My mom has always taught me, do not ever put yourself in a position where you are financially dependent on a man. And all of that went out the window. And the reason why I say that was the biggest mistake is because when I pulled back the layers of this whole monstrosity of life that I lived for 2020 and 2021, it really does boil down to the fact that I truly ended up marrying him more out of fear than anything else. And
Hmm.
I'll expound upon that later. But
Please
Fear
do.
of what?
I got the car in August, and by this point, I was exhausted of looking at cars. I was mad that I didn't get a BMW X5 dark blue with cognac
Mm.
interior. Um, and I was tired of looking at houses, getting my hopes up, looking at a house and picturing myself in the master bedroom, the kitchen, the island, all that stuff. I'm a visual person, and I was tired of getting my hopes up. Um, so now we're going to segue into fall, going into the holidays. Here's what happened. In October, we looked at another house. This house was in Marietta.
Here we
Absolutely
go with another
gorgeous.
house.
Um, it was gorgeous. I want to say that the house was about $700,000. I really liked the house. I could see myself living there. I could see myself cooking there. Um, and so subsequently, my ex-husband put in an all cash offer on that house. I watched him put an all cash offer in on the house. Our real estate agent, Scott, called us about 24 hours later, and he said, the sellers love your offer. The offer was an all cash, full asking price offer, 700,000. Let that sink in for a moment. He said the sellers love the offer. They are asking that you show proof of funds so that they can accept the offer. My ex-husband said, I will show proof of funds when they accept the offer. The seller said, great, we'll accept the offer when you show proof of funds. So basically we got into a standoff. Um, and if you're a real estate agent or you work in real estate, I would love to know your thoughts on this. I had asked people in my personal life, like, have you ever heard of this before? And I've had plenty of people who said, I side with the ex-husband. I would not show my bank statements until they accepted the offer. And then I had other people who were like, I wouldn't accept an all cash offer unless I verified that the person can pay. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Okay. So our real estate agent called us and was like, guys, the sellers are giving you 2 days to show proof of funds. I had the letter that he showed me from Chase. I sent that to Scott, but that was for a mortgage. The offer was for all cash. So he needed to show proof of funds that he had the cash to pay $700,000. He didn't show it. He refused to budge on showing them proof of funds until they accepted the offer because he was afraid that they were going to create a bidding war. So what ended up happening was Scott called us and said, I apologize because I didn't do my due diligence as a realtor. He said, before I ever started showing you guys a house, I should have collected your pre-approval letter and proof of funds. He said, so at this point, my broker has informed me that I cannot show you guys another house until you show at least us, meaning the real estate firm,
Yeah, they tired of y'all asses.
until you show us proof of funds. And so I'm just like, well, I'm telling my ex-husband, just show them the fucking proof of funds. Like, what's the problem? Um, and so it was a lot of, I don't want to
Girl,
show you
you know
guys
what the problem
proof of
was.
funds because it's not our fault that you didn't do your job correctly. It got a little ugly and it got uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't understand why you don't show them proof of funds when you clearly just signed a document stating that you're putting an offer in at full asking price. This was the same thing that the realtor was saying. He was like,
Right,
but you
gold
just signed
digger.
an offer. So what's the problem? Like, you want them to accept the offer and then you'll show everyone the proof of funds? And my ex-husband, without missing a beat, said yes. So Scott did his best to
You
work
was
with
trying
the
to get in that
seller and
house so
say,
he could
look,
squat.
accept the offer. He'll open the books. He'll show you the proof of funds. These sellers were like, no, that's not. And it wasn't so much the sellers, it was the seller's agent. Big respect to the seller's agent. But the seller's agent was like, no, that's not how we're doing business. He needs to show those proof of funds before I advise my clients to accept his offer. Period. If he's not willing to do it, we'll go on to the next offer because they did have another offer on the table. It was less than asking price, but um, they were willing to accept that offer over the all cash offer because those people had basically shown proof. So subsequently, the house fell through. We passed the 2 day deadline. They went with the other offer. Also, at this point, our real estate agent, Scott, and I do not blame him for this, pretty much cut all ties because what he, I believe, felt like was, I don't
Scott
know
been
what's going
through like
on,
3 houses with
but
y'all.
something's going on. And this is not how I do business. So until you guys are ready to show the proof of funds needed to buy a house, you need to get yourself another agent because we were already about 20 to 25 houses deep by this point. We had already put in 2 other offers, they fell through. And now here we are with this house. And once again, it fell through.
Hmm. Okay, what y'all think about that? Yeah, that realtor is tired of y'all. Y'all wasting everybody's time. He's putting in time and effort, not getting anything out of the deal ever. I would have quit y'all too.
You know what? This is giving me them vibes of that movie, the one that with Whitney Houston and Layla Rashawn. And remember Layla Rashawn was dating the crackhead, and at the end of it all she was just like, oh, you really think that he stole my wallet?
No,
Yeah,
I don't remember that movie.
you don't
I gotta
remember
get the
that?
no, I gotta get the name of it. I will remember it, I'm sure. But no, this is too crazy. And it almost sounds like he's trying to get in these houses and let somebody basically by throwing the money around or thinking he's throwing the money around. Because you guys remember that series? It was on Netflix, maybe a year or two ago, and it was about that girl that basically scammed people, and everybody thought that she was rich and she wasn't. And
Mhm.
basically, they just thought that, oh, she'll pay. She's good for the money. Oh,
Mhm.
here, you can stay at this hotel. You're good for it. It sounds like he was trying to do that, but with a house. And you know, when he got in that house, that motherfucker was going to try to squat.
He
And
was.
then, yeah, and it's a process to get people. When you get a squatter in there, it's a process to
It's
get them
hard to
out.
get him out. After 3
Yeah.
you can't get him out.
It was waiting to exhale.
One of no damn
Oh,
wait.
that was Waiting to Exhale. Now, how you didn't know the name of Waiting to Exhale?
Stella ain't get her groove back on this.
That was a classic, Coco.
She,
I'm
I
like, what
know.
movie she talking about?
this
Gotta
chick
look it
getting
up.
played. This chick it got played blindfold. She was with her eyes wide open.
Yes, played.
I
And
mean,
it's because she was greedy too, Stacy.
she
It's
was.
because she was greedy too.
She
If
talking about
she wanted to get
she
this, like
married.
I want to see
I
what she's
married
talking
him.
about.
What she said? I
Talking about
married.
fear.
What she said? I married him out of fear. What was you scared of?
Yeah, what was you scared of? You wasn't scared to do all the stuff and proceed with all the things that you were trying to proceed with when
What?
you already thought something was funny.
Where
You
the
wasn't
fear?
scared about that.
But where did the fear come from?
Look, we're gonna find out. What you think, Tamika?
Where the fear come from? That's what I want to know. Did he have a gun to her head? Did he beat
Hey,
her up?
Sip and Talk.
Cause
Hey, Sip.
it don't sound like he beat her up or hit her. So where the
Right.
fear coming from?
At least not
Nowhere.
yet.
Nowhere. Look at Bella Queen.
We got like 35 more episodes to go. He might have whooped that
Oh my
ass
god.
down the line.
Oh
I'm
my
trying to figure
god.
out
Look
so
what look
far.
what Bella Queen said. Bella said, "Who did I marry?" Streaming soon on Crackle, Freevee, Peacock, Pluto, and Tubi. Zeus Network will be streaming exclusive scenes for $29.99.
Okay, okay, because she's selling this shit without money. This a good money
No,
book,
no, no. Hold on, Stacy.
huh?
They have already reported that based on the views that she
Uh huh.
is getting, comments, everything,
Yeah.
that TikTok, because you know she put all this on TikTok. TikTok is slated to have to pay this lady $300,000 for everybody watching this.
What?
She's making a cool estimated $300,000 off of telling this story and us over here listening to it like we are. But you know
YouTube?
what?
Do
She
you
only getting one view off of all us because we all up in here watching.
is YouTube got a pair too?
Look at this Coco. Linda said, you know Coco doesn't have a good memory for being in the lab a lot.
So Coco,
Hey, go butter.
because she got at least it's about at least 10 to 20, maybe 30 posters on YouTube with this woman in
Well,
different commentaries.
this thing right here, we're only doing 10 and there's 52. There's
I
52
know
participants
I
there.
seen every last one of them.
Oh, you already seen this. Look,
You
don't
Yeah,
spoil it
cheated.
for us now. Don't spoil it for us
You
now, Stacey.
cheated.
Don't
I
spoil
seen
it.
every last one of them. I ain't gonna say nothing. I seen every last
Okay.
one of them.
Oh, hell.
But I'm
Oh my
telling you,
God.
this bitch is crazy, and I'm trying to figure out how she didn't know. Cause at the
Okay.
end, when everything come through you, I'm gonna
No,
tell you
don't
something.
tell us.
I'm
Don't
not,
tell us.
but
Don't tell
Coco,
us.
I'm not, but Coco. When you find at the end of all this shit, you gonna say, ain't no fucking way in hell this bitch didn't know all this motherfucker. Cause it's a turn, it's a circle, it's a cliffhanger, it's all kinds of shit
Oh
in
my
this motherfucker.
God.
If you went to college and you had theories, this is all theories and cliffhangers and oh, it's so much shit in here. If you ain't got college degrees and theses and know about theories, and she's Donald Trump.
Oh
This
God.
marriage is a Donald Trump marriage.
Okay, let's get to episode 14, you guys.
Okay,
Let's see what
and it's all
Stacy's
the way
talking
up to
about.
55. I'm telling you, Watch this shit ain't nothing.
Okay,
Come on. I'm
so
gonna shut up.
good news and
Okay.
bad news. Number one, this is part 14 of
Mhm.
Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Bad news, this is going to be the last post for the night. And the reason why, good news,
Her
tomorrow's my
birthday.
birthday. So
See?
I'm just going to make this video, post it, and then I will pick back up probably Friday because honestly, I truly want to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. I just want to enjoy my birthday. All right, so y'all don't be upset. Just if anything, watch parts 1
Look
through
at her hat.
14, and
It's got
then
his name on it.
we'll be ready
Look,
for
Hooker.
part 15. So the house fell through in October 2020. And what I told him was, I said, I don't want to look at another house. I don't want to talk about cars. I want to get through the holidays because it was going to be a holiday season where I could not celebrate my family because of COVID. So I said, I just want to get through the holidays. I want to get through the end of the year. And we'll revisit stuff in January. I was very calm when I said it. No argument, nothing like that. And he said he understood. A lot of what fueled me staying in this situation really was the fact that number one, I didn't want to be alone. Number two, I didn't want to look stupid by having the relationship end so quickly for everyone to be like, we told you something was up. And number three, I was ready to get married. And that ready to get married fueled a lot of stuff.
Inspiration, thirst.
And again, I was still
Yes.
making my audio diaries. So listening back to it, I knew something was wrong. I admit that. I knew something was wrong. But what I thought it was, truthfully, was like, why does it seem like there's always something? Like, why can't we just go ahead and get the house? Why is it always something? Why can't I just get the BMW? It still didn't dawn on me how deep this something went. And for the people who keep asking, I'm going in order of events. So, yes, there will be a video where I explain how everything came out and what came out, what was true, what was not true. It's coming. I'm just getting all of this out in order. So, I told him I didn't want to look at a house no more. I didn't want to talk about houses. Do not mention the word Zillow. Do not mention the word realtor. Nothing. Let me just get through the holidays. And for myself, the question was, what do you want to do? You want to stay with him, or do you want to cut your losses? And the part that kept me constantly second guessing myself was, what if he's not lying? What if he's not lying? There's no, literally, the
Bitch is
conversation I
slow.
had with myself was, there's no way he is lying about having money. You saw the paper from Chase. They don't just approve $750,000 for a mortgage for anybody. I've seen his checking account. You see how much money's in his available checking. Like I don't think he's lying. I
How
don't think
much
he's
money
lying
was
about
in
that.
there?
But what is it? Is it that he doesn't trust me? Like,
That's what
I
I want to
second
know
guess
too.
myself so much. Is it that he doesn't trust me? Is it that maybe he doesn't really want to get married? Like, what is it? Because I know what I saw. I know what I heard. I know that he's having conversations about move the money from this account to that account. I know he's paying my car note and all these bills. Like, clearly this man is making money. I know that I saw the letter from HR that states his new salary is 200 and something thousand. Um And I remember thinking, like, God, what am I missing? I'm missing something, but what is it? Because I know what I've seen. I know what I have touched. I have physically touched these papers. Like, I know how to read. So what is it that I am missing? He's close to his family. He talks to them all the time. He's just a regular guy that just likes to watch NFL football. He leaves me alone when I want to watch Georgia football. Um, he's paying the bills, groceries. I haven't had to worry financially since I've met him. And as a woman who had lived on her own, paying her own bills, my God, that is the most intoxicating feeling when you meet a guy who just takes your stress and your worry away financially. But the downside is he took away the stress and the worry financially away and instead brought a mental fuck job I've never in my life had experienced. And I could not put my finger on it. I couldn't really talk to anybody about it because I'm a big believer in what happens at home stays at home. So I didn't talk to my girlfriends about it. I didn't talk to
Okay, we got to take a pause. This lady she's admitting it. At least I'm glad that she is admitting that a lot of the things that she went through was because she was desperate. But what I'm waiting on her to do, she's kind of touching on it. Like, oh my God. I mean, I never had a man that would pay my bills and I never had to worry about anything financially. She's tap dancing around it. But let's just go ahead and say the real. You were a user and the player got played. I
Yep.
want you to stop tap dancing around the fact that you wanted that house. You wanted that BMW with the cognac interior. You wanted all
Sugar
the things that
daddy.
came along with him. Yes, you were desperate for a man too, but
Yep.
let's not stop saying that your eyes went wide open to what you could get out of him. What you could get out of him. Let me
Can't.
okay,
She
let me
thought
take
she had a sugar daddy, didn't she?
something. Let me
And
say hi to everybody coming in. Hey, Go Butter, Brittany, Curly Cookie, Shanti. Hey, Lady Scorpio, Katina, Misfit. Hey, Banger. Let's see. Am I missing anyone? Vixie. Hey, Vixie. Let me scroll up a little bit too. Like, and Venus, look, Venus been following the story too. Venus is here. She says she rewinding watching everything because she's late. But yes, I that's what I want her to do. She's tap dancing on it, but I need you to do the whole cha cha slide on that bad
mm,
boy because you were trying to be a user too. Okay, let's finish this episode.
talk to my family about it. But I just remember being like, what am I missing? What am I missing? Um, so we did not talk about houses. We did not look at cars. We didn't do any of that for November, December. And he came to me like around Thanksgiving, and what I thought was a very open, loving conversation. And in that conversation, he was like, okay, I know I have fucked up. I know that things are not feeling too strong right now. He was like, I want us to get married. I want a home. Um, I will show you whatever you need to see to put you at ease. Um, he was very like contrite. He was very just like, what do I need to do to put your mind at ease so that you know I'm in this and that I want this and that I love you and I want you to be my wife. Um, so I was like, show me your accounts. He
Okay, she
showed me
said
his
something.
checking. He showed me he showed me one of his savings. He showed me a
Hey, Joni.
Chase savings. Um, he did not show me the offshore, and he did not show me the US bank. So
Why not?
he showed me those two accounts, checking and Chase savings. So I knew that there was money. What I saw in those accounts, there was money. I told him, I was like, if we're going to buy a house, I want it to be through the mortgage on Chase. I don't want to deal with this proof of funds shit no more. I said, I do not want to look at another house until the beginning of the new year. He said, okay. That is when we then had a conversation. So I guess I lied because we are going to have a part 15 or 16 tonight. But that is when we then had the discussion about marriage. And that is where religion came into play. Yeah, I'll give y'all the other part tonight. Stand by.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right. Let's have a quick pause. What y'all think about that? Let me get to some of these comments. Tamika said he can't show you something he doesn't have. Brittany said this Bill was a effing gold digger willing to be drugged through the mud for that bag. I ain't even mad at his ass. Oh man, let me
I
see.
want to know how much money was in them accounts to put her mind at ease.
Yes. Sharon said now she doesn't want to look stupid. Hey Audra. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to know too. How much was in those accounts to shut you up to where you were just like, oh, okay, I'm still going along.
You know
What
what?
you think about
He
this bag?
probably got
We
some
know
of that. He probably got some of that PPP money.
PP, right? You hit the nail on the head, Coco. That mug was probably getting all kind of damn PPP loans. Look, Banger, you ever dealt with a gold digger?
I say, yeah, yeah. But I say it's a good book, with the theatrics she putting on and, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
man, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's animated, so it's good. But I believe she making up a lot of shit. Me personally,
You think so? Okay, okay.
they
Well,
ain't
we
got
got it.
no BBL,
He ain't pay for no BBL, so he got no money for real.
right? Ain't got
Ooh.
no BBL.
Hey, True. True says scamming on unemployment as well, probably. Mm-mm-mm. And supposedly okay, True said during all this time, what were they living on? Now, supposedly he did have a job, that he did go to a job, that he was making, over $200,000 a year on. That's what she said, at least.
He
She
was the
said she saw.
VP, remember?
Remember, he was a regional sales manager. Then he got made vice president. So okay, let's go to the next episode, you guys. Let's go to episode 15, I believe we're on. Here we go.
okay, part 15. Who the fuck did I marry? So in December of 2020, around beginning of December, we had a conversation, kind of a come to Jesus heart to heart conversation. And both of us had grown up in the church, and the fact that we were not married but living together, the fact that almost had a baby together, um, bothered both of
Candy,
us.
can you turn it
Both
up?
of our families, my family and his family, um, were very adamant. Like, okay, y'all either need to get married or y'all need to separate.
Let me try to get it
Um,
up. Let me try to get it
and
up.
so I'm walking around with a ring on, which I'll post a picture of the ring because God, there's so much to unpack. But anyway, walking around with the ring, and so he said to me,
That's as far as it goes, you guys.
"Whatever I need to do my part to make this work, I'm willing to do." At the same time, it wasn't that I did not trust him as much as it was I felt like I wasn't trusting myself. Because, again, like I said in the previous video, I know what I saw, I know what I've read, I know what I've heard. Um, but fuck, something was not sitting right with me. And every time I would question it in my head, the other side of me was like, okay, you know he ain't lying about the money because you saw it. So you know he ain't lying. Girl, are you that? Like, I remember saying to myself, are you that jaded that you don't even know what it's like to have a decent man? Yes, I really had the audacity to have that thought. So we agreed beginning of December, like we wanted to be together. I believe I loved him. I believed he loved me. So the decision was made that we were going to get married. It's still COVID, so we had to follow certain protocol. So we filed our marriage license in Fayette County, Georgia, because I you could not get an appointment in Clayton County to save your life. So we filed the marriage license in Fayette County. On our marriage license, it asked the number of previous marriages. He said one, I had zero. It asked for our social security numbers. He put his social security number down. I put my social security number down. I mentally wrote down his social security number and I did a background check. I did a background check after I had filed a marriage license. Yes, I know, but I did. The background check, nothing came back. It was like no results found. I did a criminal background check, nothing came back. So I thought one of two things. Either I had the wrong social, meaning I wrote down the wrong social, or my paranoia was unfounded. There's nothing wrong with him because he has been always throughout the relationship a big stickler about law enforcement, following the law because his dad was a retired police officer. So this is someone who has been this is a guy who would check to make sure my tail lights were working, make sure my signals were working, make sure my oil was good, make sure I had enough gas in the car. So when the criminal history came back with no results, I was like, well, of course there isn't because the man probably hasn't had so much as a speeding ticket. So we filed the marriage license and then we made an appointment to get married and waiting for the judge to come out of chambers.
No
No
pre-marriage
wedding.
counseling.
Yes.
No, no, nothing. No wedding. Your first
The reason
marriage.
why I'm pausing is because, my God, if
This
I
is a
could go
good
back
soap
and
opera.
see that young woman sitting in that lobby. Wow. I know we can't go back in time, but damn, if I could go back in time, I would. I didn't tell anyone I was getting married because I was afraid that we had tried before in September and something came up. So I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to get anyone's hopes up. I didn't want to get my hopes up. I know that's bad, but again, said I would be honest, even if it's ugly. I told my mom, my family that we got married, told my friends, they could not believe it. My mother was relieved, but she had no idea about what was going on. My aunt was more like, really?
Oh, with the wedding, with the COVID, with the yeah.
You
Okay.
married him? My friend, the one who took me to the hospital for the miscarriage, was like, I wish you would have told me, like, you deserve to have people there, take pictures and celebrate and all this other stuff. Um, and she was like, she's the type of friend, if you like it, I love it. You rock with him, I rock with him. The moment you don't, I don't either. So she was supportive. My other girlfriends were happy for me. They just hated that I had to get married during COVID. Because they were like, we would have loved to have, thrown you a bridal shower and a bachelorette party and all of that. It just sucks that you couldn't experience that. So we got married on a Tuesday. Um, on the way home, stopped and got some wings, went home, and I had to get ready to go to work the next day.
Hell no.
And life, I got married January 5th. By January 31st, I knew I was in trouble.
Mm.
I still didn't know how deep, but I knew I was in trouble. So, to give you all a very, very, very candid idea, got married January 5th. The normal things that married newlyweds do when we got married completely stopped. And that was not by me. You always hear men talk about, man, now that we're married, she don't. In my case, it was the exact opposite. It was the exact opposite. So, anyway, because this is not a forum to be all R-rated or whatnot, but y'all get what I'm saying. So, we got married January 5th. January 6th, I went to work. It was a lot of people congratulated me because it kind of word got out that I had gotten married. January 7th, I filed the paperwork to change my last name. And if you were following me, you can go back like 15, 16 videos, and I talk about how I had to change my name back to my maiden name. But I changed my name within about 3 days of getting married. My attitude was, this is the bed that I made. I'm going to do right by him. I'm going to do right by my marriage. I took marriage seriously. And when I married him, I absolutely married him thinking, I'm going to be with you for the next 40, 50 years. So we're going to have to figure this shit out. That was my mindset. I did not get married to turn around and be divorced in 6 months. But I got married January 5th, 2021. And by January 31st, I knew I was in serious trouble. So that is where we
She
are.
know how to do the pauses and
The next
everything
set of videos,
for
the next
effect.
set of all this will be me talking about how things went downhill before it crashed and I found everything out. In the meantime, tomorrow is my birthday. So happy birthday to me.
Okay, you guys, what are your thoughts so far? We about to get into it, she
I
said.
want to see that new episode after the wedding.
It's a good book. It's a good book.
Oh my goodness. So, and then y'all hear she say as soon as they got married, he stopped having sex with her?
Yes.
Like
I heard
immediately.
that
Because he was hitting the ex-wife. Nah, I'm
too.
just kidding.
Mhm.
We
Or
about to find out.
he might have been hitting the fake sister or the fake brother that he got going on, telling that shit.
Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Okay, all right, let's move on to it. Well, let's get up to it. So that was 15, right? Yeah, that was 15. Let's go to 16.
This is juicy.
The fuck did I marry? This is the interlude, basically. Um, I'm not recapping on this video. I'm just kind of answering some stuff that has been written to me. Someone was like, why are you airing your business out on social media? It's a valid question. For me personally, I feel like this was traumatic to experience, to live through. And I'll expound on that on another video, the aftermath of the toll that this took. Honestly, I know some people are going to be like, that sounds crazy. It is kind of cathartic to get this out because I cannot tell you how much of this has been internalized since 2020. Also, I don't want to seem like a cautionary tale to other women or to men for that matter. But to my sisters, to my ladies, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. If something does not sit right with you, investigate it. I cannot stress that enough. If just one woman watches these videos and she's like, you know what, something
Mm-mm-mm.
don't sit right with me, let me look into this, um, then it was worth it. Yes, it is a Lifetime movie. Yes, it is Netflix. Yes, it is crazy. Yes, it is hilarious also. Um, and I understand all of those reactions. As someone who lived it, um, it was traumatic. But I feel like, God, it feels good to finally admit um, what the fuck I went through. And
I was about
again,
to say
by
that you
the
was
time
young.
this is uploaded, I'm only to January of 2021, right after getting married. So when I think back on it, there's things that I'm very, very grateful for. There are things that I'm just like, why did you not pay attention? Why did you not question? And the sad part is I can't even begin to tell you, I don't remember the woman I was before I met that man. I don't remember. Um, because going through something like that, it changes you. And I've seen some women in the comments who were like, I was married to a habitual liar. I was married to a pathological liar. My baby daddy's a pathological liar. And my heart goes out to them because until you have dealt with someone so depraved, you you really don't quite know how bad it can get. Um, so I'm fully aware that this was a risk, putting this out on social media, telling my story, my truth, and really kind of being like, look, this is what I went through. I made dumb decisions. I overlooked things I should not have overlooked. I argued away things I should not have argued away. Um, I can pinpoint exactly the moment I should have left. I still feel like God is sitting on the throne and he's like, I never planned for your monkey ass to marry him. I never even planned for you to go out and date with him. That's why I blew your tire. But you hard headed and you went anyway.
Oh,
And
you know
then
what?
I
I didn't
tried to
even
go
think
ahead
about
and show
that.
you signs. You ignored them. Like, I feel like God did everything to help me as his child be like, this is not who I created to be your helpmate. And I was like, I and these are the consequences that I'm paying for basically telling God, you took too long. And
Mm,
I
that was
feel
deep.
like God's
That was
grace is
deep.
sufficient. It is. But at the
Right,
same time, and I'm
Tamika.
not perfect, I mean, not perfect at all. None of us are. But I do feel like when I sit back and I replay the events that happened, I truly cannot believe that was my story, because all I wanted was to meet a guy, for him to be my best friend, for us to get married, have a family. I wanted someone I could make fun of his big old forehead and he make fun of my nappy head and all my wigs, and yet he was my ride or die. Um, I wanted someone that I could be like, man, help me with these kids, and he helped me with the kids. We had a nice home. We were comfortable. That is what I wanted. And I've said this before, and I say it again. I truly thought, I truly hoped it was my turn. You see the women who are, so happy, and they're in these loving marriages and life just looks good. I really, really wanted it to be be my turn. And so I excused away a lot of stuff that I hope the next woman who sees this does not excuse, because I don't wish this on anybody. I don't wish this on anyone to feel the way I felt the moment I discovered the whole truth. Um, so I just wanted to say that, because I think it's important to try to answer the why is she posting this? Honestly, I was tired of holding it in. I was tired of holding it in. Um, and I hope it helps somebody. Okay, let's all take a deep breath. Let's all get some sleep. If you don't have anything to do and you just want to wish me a happy birthday, wish me a happy birthday tomorrow, February 15th. Shout out to Team Aquarius. Good night, y'all. The fuck did I marry?
Okay. All right. Before we get into a little commentary, let me thank Tamika. And this is, I'm trying to call you by your YouTube. I believe this is Go Butter. Thank you guys for the cash apps. And thank you, daughter of y'all, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Okay. That video number 16, you guys, that is where she has become relatable to me. She's become relatable to me because let's not act like as women we have not felt some of the things that she has just said. Like, okay, I'm tired of waiting for the one, I feel like I'm a good woman. Why am I it's taking too long, or where is he, God? So that was a very relatable, what she titled the interlude right there to me. So what do you guys think about that? Sade, Coco,
I
what do you
agree.
guys think?
I agree.
Tamika?
I agree with you. That was a very a good
Oh,
checkup
but you
from
know
the
what
neck
I
up.
think?
What you think, Banger?
It's a good story. It's a good, it's a good show.
You still don't believe any of it yet?
I mean, no, no, no. I believe part of what she's saying, but you
Uh-huh.
know, I know some things she throwing there for, amazement, wow factor, and just things that she know other people been through.
Mhm.
Might
Okay.
be,
Okay. Yep.
I don't know. I feel like that is actually true. Like I feel like that. I don't
everybody
know.
else
Like you
sleep.
could just see through her eyes. Can y'all hear me?
Mhm.
Or I just can't hear. Is it people talking or I can't hear?
You couldn't hear.
All right, all right, all right.
Hey, LA. Go ahead and finish, Tamika.
Oh, I didn't want to overtalk y'all, so I was waiting for y'all to get done talking. So yeah, so I just damn, I forgot what I was about to say. Never mind, it'll come back later.
Okay. But no, I thought that this was very good and very needed for her to put this in it. And and she admitted a lot of where she finally really admitted to why she was dealing with this stupidness, this madness, that a lot of stuff could have been prevented had she just listened. Even the signs that she said, "Dang, I had the blown tire when I was going to meet him for the first time." That was God's way of saying, "I don't want you going to meet him." Like things, obstacles and things put in her way. Even so much as, it may sound harsh, even so much, you guys think about it, her having that miscarriage. This
Hmm.
is not meant to be. I don't want you to be stuck with this person. I don't want you to have to basically have to do life with this person and deal with this person.
You're
So I
right.
don't know. It just depends on how you want to think about things. But that was
And
a very good.
you know, I'm
Oh,
sorry for butting in, Candy, but you're right. She did say all those signs that God was showing her, and
Yeah.
she was ignoring them. And besides the lies, it was just the signs that she was seeing, and she was
Mm,
just ignoring them and just taking
but
along with the pain because she you know, the blind eyes. We all, I know,
Blind and desperation and wanting love
I've
and
been,
wanting love. Yeah.
I've been,
And
I
this
don't
was
know. I
very
feel like she
relatable. Go ahead,
I
Tamika.
felt like she wasn't looking at it like that at first. I felt like she was more so looking in his pockets,
she
in
was,
his appearance.
she,
I
she,
think that once that house, because I believe that they start searching for houses, 2 weeks within their dating stages. Like they just met, and then like after 2 weeks, that's when everything really starts to go on.
I think about a
So
couple months it was because she was really with him. I think for about a year when before they start looking for a house. If you if you watch everything, just listen to her story when she first start. We in the 16th chapter now.
Wow.
No, they basically started looking for a house.
Yeah,
No,
we in the
like
15th,
two
16th
two
chapter.
months in. 2 months
Yeah.
in,
So
something
Two
like
months
that.
in. Yeah.
Hmm.
is it two
Okay.
months in or 6 months in?
No, it's two
No,
months
no,
in.
no. 2 months in, they were already living together with the
Yeah,
COVID.
at her
Hmm.
place.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he was in that place where they at for about a year when he met her.
Yeah, in his own spot.
In his
Mm,
studio. Hmm.
yeah.
LA, you watched the whole thing? What you been watching?
I've been watching with you. Shit, you don't know I
Oh,
was up
okay.
in there. Look
Okay,
at that, boy.
okay.
I tell you, she don't know her guesses when she got her, boy. I tell you.
She,
Okay, let me get it. Let me hit a couple comments in here, and then we're gonna get back to episode 17. So Gold Digger said she finally came to her senses and realized that the crooked road needed to be straight. Witches Brew said signs coming from all directions. Venus said, I'm in shock. Damn,
she
this stuff actually happened to her.
the Holy
Uh
Spirit hitting her in different angles. You know,
Venus also said she's really this slow.
she's not really
And
awoken yet, Candy.
yep. And
She's
Linda
still.
said, huh?
Yeah. I said the Holy Spirit is hitting her in different angles, but she's not fully awoken.
No, yeah, because she said we about to get into it now. So Linda P said,
yeah,
no,
and
it
I
wasn't
think
a year, it's about a month. Go ahead.
that's what I thought, Linda P. But also, I think that someone like okay, don't you know when like you are going through like things, right? And then like your folks be like, no, but you don't think that that's a sign.
Hold
She
on.
Oh, she had literally said like, okay, well, like my like aunt had said, wait, what? Like, did
Hmm.
you really marry him? Like,
Hmm.
so hold on, ma'am. Your family was already like giving you the signs, like, no, don't do it, don't do it. That's why you didn't tell them that you got married and you told them afterwards. Because you went to the justice of the peace. That's what you did. You went to justice of the peace.
Hmm.
And she
Mm-mm.
never she never mentioned her mother and father, does she?
Hmm.
I think
Not really. Not really.
no,
Because
She
not
hasn't said
really.
but
much
check
so
this
far.
out. Check this out. If she had a listen to me, she had a father, and he sees her going like even when they didn't close on the house, when he said he had so much money. Believe me, she discussed this with her daddy too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm figuring why didn't her father? If her father said, "Hey, cut that nigga loose. This you're going through too much." Because I know it's seeing this baby come back looking sick.
I haven't heard too much mention on her parents or whatever.
She
So
didn't
Go
mention
Better
any.
said, she didn't really mention. Go Better said, we often overlook these signs and blindness for love. That is very true.
Yep.
Very true. And Brittany says she's
That's
just
a
mentioned her
hard
mom.
overlook.
Hard overlook. Okay, so let's go to number 17, you guys.
And she looking
17.
worse and worse. And like y'all didn't realize her appearance. He done this lady to the ground. Sorry, I had to say that part. Okay, let's
I
go back
know.
to the video.
I mean, she was looking kind of tight, but now she
So,
looking.
for
She getting
context and
nose
just to
getting big.
clarify some stuff, going forward, I'm going to now call my ex husband. I'm going to use the name that I call him in real life. So that way it clears up the whole fiance, boyfriend, husband, ex husband thing. So his name is Legion. Anyone that knows me will tell you that is what I call him. So Legion and I, when I left off at part 16, or excuse me, part 15, Legion and I got married January 5th of 2021. For the first 2 weeks, things were fine. We got into like a a routine. Basically, I would go to work, he would go to work. He was still leaving the house at around 6:15 every morning. He was still on the phone with his brother, the one that lived in Philly. Every morning, they would just, that was their time to talk. From what I was told, the brother got off work. I guess he must have worked the third shift, and so he was getting off work as Legion was getting ready to go to work. So that was the perfect time for them to talk. He would talk to his brother in Baltimore and the brother in Augusta, pretty much, just a quick phone call here and there, if not every day, every other day. So everything was pretty much the same. I would talk to my mom almost every day. I would talk to my aunt almost every day. So it was nothing to kind of, that's weird. That's what the morning routine was. He would talk. So I worked at Georgia State Patrol. And I said this in a previous video, but again, there were things I said in previous videos that I remember saying, hey, remember that because it's going to come back later. So I worked at Georgia State Patrol. I had been working there for almost 8 years, 7 or 8 years by the time Legion got into the picture. He was fine with the fact that I worked within law enforcement. I'm not a trooper. I'm not a sworn officer. I'm a civilian. However, again, his dad was a retired police officer. So he was perfectly fine in the beginning with the fact that I worked for Georgia State Patrol. He had been to my office before. He had met some of my co-workers. Obviously, even with COVID, because I still had to go into the office 2 or 3 days a week, he had been up there. So the friend who took me to the hospital when I had my miscarriage has met him. He and I have been to her home with her and her significant other before. So again, even in the world of COVID, when there were little times where you could get together with people, he has met people in my life. He has met my friend, or that particular friend, and he has met some of my coworkers. So when we got married, the first 2 weeks, like I said, was fine. And then it's as if something snapped. Something just changed. What was totally acceptable before, suddenly little comments were made. Why are you wearing that to work? You get off at 3:30, so you'll be home by 5, right? Things that had never happened before. He had never questioned what time I'm gonna be home. Um, Really, he didn't need to question it because when I'm off work, I leave. So it was never a situation of, oh, I'm gonna just sit around at work and just run my mouth because I have nothing to do. Um, and then it turned into, he would call me every day from work, and I'm going to demonstrate how those phone calls went. But he would call me every day from work. And if he even so much as heard a male voice in the background, he would have little comments to me. Who was that? Are they in your office? You know, man, I never know who's around you, because it seemed like every time I call you, I have the hiccup, sorry. It seems like every time I call you, there's some man around. And I'm just like, at first I kind of shrugged it off. I laughed it off because it really truly was absurd to me. But then it became a bit more frequent. And so I really just didn't feed into it, because I'm like, I don't know if this is some insecurity. I don't know if this is jealousy, because nothing has ever been done to make you feel any sort of insecure type of way. I've never entertained another guy, never flirted with another guy. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. So it is also important to note, we got married January 5th. Things started changing around 2 weeks later. And the reason why I know it's 2 weeks is because I had recorded an audio diary on January 21st is the date of the audio diary. And I talk about how maybe I had unrealistic expectations, because it seemed as if things were changing with he and I. So 2 weeks pass. He starts making little comments. End of January comes. He informs me that he wants to start looking for a house again.
Him and his damn house.
I had no real desire to go through that process. So what he decides is that he's going to look for a house for us using his friend, the realtor, the one I did not meet. So he tells me that he and his friend have been talking and he's going to start looking at houses. And what he's going to do is basically, if he feels like it's a house I would like, then he wants to show it to me because he feels like, I know that your attitude really isn't, you're in the mood to look for a house. So I'm going to start looking. And then if I think it's a great house, then, you can come see it. Um, and I remember thinking, that's not going to work. You're not going to choose a house without me. And he was like, no, I'm not going to choose the house, but I just think that, me and old boy have been talking. And so he has some houses that he is representing. He wants to show me. So why don't you let me look at it? And if it's worth the time, then I'll bring you to look at it. So he already had some sort of plan in place after talking to his friend about how he's going to start looking at houses. This is the end of January 2021.
She just sound
So
like a bitter
I kind of
chick.
threw my hands in the air and was just like, whatever, because I'm not getting emotionally involved in looking at houses. And for me, that's kind of what it was. I felt like I would see a house, I could picture us living there, and then it gets snatched away somehow, some way. I didn't want to go through that. So the reaction that he wanted, which was for me to throw a fit, I did not do. I was just like, okay, all right, like I trust you. And remember that I said the reaction he wanted because that's going to come back later. So he started looking at houses. Funny enough, the houses that he looked at, none of them I actually saw. But he would call me and say, I'm at this house in Sandy Springs with the realtor friend. Apparently his realtor friend's name was Scott, not to be confused with the other Scott, the one that was actually helping us that dropped us as clients. I want to make that clear. There were two Scotts. One is the realtor who was representing us, who said, hey, I need proof of funds. If you don't have those proof of funds, I cannot show you any more houses. The other Scott is his friend who he had talked to on the phone at least 50 to 100 times in front of me. That's the Scott that he said is going to show me this house in Sandy Springs. Apparently the house was like $800,000. So he was like, I think that if I like the house, then I'm gonna bring you out here so you can see it. All right. Now let's go into part 18.
Mm. Okay, what are we thinking about this? Here we go with this damn house again. Uh, at
What's
this
this?
point, they
House
just,
6?
girl, something like that might be 10. Look, I think she just needs to be happy where she at, the way he's going. And look, Tamika, I had to laugh because I said, Tamika, damn sure right. She's looking worse and worse as these videos going
She is, right? Okay, I'm not. Okay.
on. She ain't even trying to put a wig on no more. Shit, you getting all these views and now you don't want to put the wig on? Now, God damn it. Oh my God.
Right. She got swollen, like she looks fatter. I'm like,
Yeah,
what in
just
the
downhill. Shit. Okay, let's go to number 18, you guys.
Okay, part 18. Who the fuck did I marry? So he says to me, the way you're acting is real suspect because I told you it was fine. I took care of it. He was like, I ain't even worried about it. He was like, obviously, that nigga didn't know that
Oh,
you
hold
now
on.
married. That
Hold on. I missed the part. We're at 18. Hold on. I'm glad I didn't let that go too far. Shit, I went down too far. Okay, here we go.
Okay, part 18. Who the fuck did I marry? So he starts looking at houses in Sandy Springs, Alpharetta area with his friend Scott. Um, I did not see any of these houses. I did not go. I didn't want to go. Um, so what was starting to change is, remember I said before, he would leave the house every day at around 6:15. He would be home every day between 3:30 and 4 o'clock without fail. It was so, I shouldn't say it was annoying, but I could set my clock by the fact that I would hear that garage door open between 3:30 and 4 o'clock every day that he went to work. Even during lockdown, he still had to go to work. His job was only locked down for maybe a week. For me, I was allowed to work from home, but unfortunately, I did not handle it well. And so I would fall asleep and not check email. So my boss was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to come back to the office because you're not trustworthy." And I wasn't. I mean, I would watch Netflix and not even be on my computer. So I had to start going back to work every day, 5 days a week. Um, and I was, me and another lady were the only two in there because we were the only two who did not handle work from home properly. Anyway, that's another
Mm.
story. So Legion would, he started to not come home by 4 o'clock. He started to come home 5, 5:30, 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock, because he was saying that he was looking at houses after work with his friend Scott. So it definitely was noticed that things are changing. Um, and I just, at this point, kind of emotionally and mentally, I was just like, I don't know what to do. This is the end of January. Remember, I told you in part 15, I got married January 5th. By January 31st, I kind of knew I was in trouble. And by the end of January, sure enough, I knew things were changing in a way that I was like, I hate to sound redundant, but what the fuck is going on? So he's still maintaining the story of looking for a house, looking for a house. I had already let him know my lease is up in August. When my lease is up in August, I am moving to Cobb County. Um, and then my attitude was kind of like, you can go with me or you can stay here. I don't care, but I'm moving. I'm leaving Clayton County. The reason why I was so adamant to move was not because of Clayton County. It was not because of the house that I was in. It was because Legion had started to create this narrative that he was beefing with my female neighbor. He was trying to get me to believe that my female neighbor to the left of me um, somehow was interested in him. And so she would make these little comments, and he would come in the house complaining about her and her music and the fact that she had, different men over to the house. It was driving me crazy. And all of this was kind of starting in January. So when I say that, it really seems like we got married January 5th, and then we had 2 weeks of peace, and then something just snapped. I literally mean something just snapped. So he's looking at houses. Now we're moving into February. February obviously is my birthday month. He did good. He did good to make Valentine. He went all out for Valentine's Day. He went all out for my birthday. My birthday and Valentine's Day are February 14th and February 15th. So he went all out on both days. Y'all ain't even gonna believe this story. But I said I would share even when it makes me look bad. So, the weekend after my birthday, and what I mean by that is if my birthday was on a Tuesday, we're talking about Saturday. The weekend after my birthday, he gave me money to go to the nail salon, go get a manicure and pedicure. So I leave the house. I take his car. His car was in the driveway. We had a key to each other's car because, again, we're married at this point. We're talking February 2021. So I take his car and I drive to the nail salon over in Morrow. I'm in the chair getting a pedicure, and I get a text message from my husband saying, someone was just at the house looking for you. And I'm like, who was looking for me? What do you, well, who was it? And he said, I don't know. I think it was some, this is through text. I don't know. I think it was some dude you used to mess with. Okay. Um, I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I'm telling you, some guy just came to the house looking for you. I told him you were not here. So at this point, y'all, I'm in the chair at the salon. I'm freaking out because I'm like, who the fuck has the audacity to come to my home unannounced, uninvited, talking about they're looking for me? Especially because before I met my husband, I was working the last shift at Amazon as a part-time job. So I had not dealt with, dated anything with anyone for about a year before I met him in March of 2020. So I really was like, who the hell is this coming to my house? So I finished the pedicure. I head home. Once I get home, I'm like, what are you talking about? What happened? And so I'm frazzled in a way. And he's calm. He was like, yeah, it was a black Dodge Charger. They pulled into the driveway, they backed in. They backed in as if they had been here before. So clearly this was someone who's been to your house. He got out the car. He said, I opened the door and I went out there and I said, is there something I can help you with? And he said, the guy said, I'm looking for, and gave him my name. And he said, I'm sorry, she's not here. And he was like, oh, okay. All right then. And just got in the car
That's
and
all
drove
you said
off.
to a man coming to your house looking for your wife?
And I
That's
was
all you
like,
say?
my brain stopped working.
I'm wondering why she's so frazzled. If you know that you have not messed with nobody in over a year, why were you so frazzled? Instead of just dismissing and saying, I don't know who that was.
Right, because now you sounded nervous. So what was you doing that make him even? I don't know. Yeah, that just don't sound right either.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
weird.
yeah, very weird. It definitely sounds like, if it wasn't true, he's playing some mind games with you. But I don't understand why you were so, like she said, frazzled. That was weird. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going.
Because I'm thinking, who the heck could this be? A Dodge Charger? I was like, are you sure that it wasn't law enforcement? Like, was it the sheriff's office trying to serve me with a lawsuit for a credit card I didn't pay? He was like, no, he was in regular clothes. He was like, and it was not a police car. It was on a marked unit, basically. And so I'm just like, who the heck could this be? And he was like, I know who it was. And I said, who? He was like, I think it was your ex. I said, what ex? He was like, the one that you had dated for 2 years. Remember back in like part 3, part 4, I told y'all he told me about his ex. I told him about mine. I thought we were being honest with each other. So now, fast forward to February 2021, and he's telling me, yeah, I think it was the ex that you had been dealing with for those 2 years before you met me. I said, so you think that he showed up to the house uninvited after 2 years? And he was like, well, whoever it was clearly was comfortable backing into our driveway, getting out the car, and was like, I'm here to see, and gave him my name. And so he was like, she's not here. Is there something I can help you with? And the guy was like, nah, it's cool. And then just got in the car and drove off. So again, brain is like, who could this be? So then Legion says to me, you know what? The way that you reacting to this is real suspect. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, he
He was
about
like,
to
you
flip
I
over
the
here
would have
freaking
script.
out. I
to.
told you I
I
took
would
care of
have
it. I
to
told
do
you
it.
it was fine. And you over here freaking out, which makes me wonder, what have you been up to? Now, let's go to part 19. Okay,
Okay.
part 18.
Okay, who was about to say something?
Oh, I was just agreeing with him. She was acting weird though.
Mm-hmm. Now she has this misnumbered, but I believe this is 19 right here. Says 18 too, but I believe this is 19. Here we
Okay,
go.
part 18. Who the fuck did I marry? So he says to me,
Said
the way you're
19 up here.
acting is real suspect because I told you it was fine. I took care of it. He was like, I ain't even worried about it. He was like, obviously, that nigga didn't know that you now married, that you've moved on. And so now he knows it. But for me, it was the fact that I don't do pop-ups. Don't come to my house unannounced. So if someone has done that, for me, it automatically feels like a violation and it feels like it needs to be addressed. So it was not as simple as I already took care of it. It's fine. Let it go. No, we ain't letting nothing go because you don't have my permission to show up to my house. And before this turns into something where I'm going to be on Fox 5 News, I need to address that with you because that is not okay. So he didn't like the reaction I had to the story he told me, where someone basically disrespected my home. And he felt like my reaction was really suspect. So, um, what I'm gonna get into the little details that he did not know about. So he tells me again, it was a black Charger, a black Dodge Charger. They backed into the driveway. A gentleman got out of the car and he asked for me by name, and Legion said she's not here. So um, I asked him, what does the guy look like? And he said, he was like, why does it matter? I said, what the fuck does he look like? So Legion proceeds to give me the most generic description you can give. He was like, well, he was shorter than me. Ex-husband is about 6'3", 6'4". He was shorter than me. He was brown skinned. I said, did he have a hat on his head? Mind you, I understand that before marriage, I was a damn fool. I understand that. But every woman has that moment where you only gonna fool her but for so long. And eventually puzzles start coming together. For me, I felt like moving into marriage, certain things started coming together. So I said to him, did he have a hat on his head? He was like, nah, he ain't wear a hat. So in my mind, I am mentally going down a list of every possible man it could be. Um, and it was only like 4 men. I had been in that house about 3 or 4 years at this point. So I knew all of the people, and I'm talking about from maintenance down to ex-boyfriends. It was a total of like 4 men. So when he said that it was a black Charger, I immediately was like, okay, I know that crosses out one. He said he was shorter than him. All of them were shorter than him. I said, did he have a hat on his head? He said, no, that crossed out one because one in particular was a maintenance guy who always wore a hat on his head because he had like a bruise or something and he was just self-conscious about it. So he always wore a hat. That leaves two. So I said, was he muscular or was he skinny? So Legion's getting all frustrated. I said, just answer the question. He was like, well, he was kind of in between. And I said, okay. He was in between. I said, so was he light skin or was he dark skin? He was like, I told you he was brown skin. I said, was he my complexion? He said, no, he was brown skin. That eliminates one. So now there's one left. And yes, the one left would have been the ex that I had dated for 2 years. And so he was like, I know it was your ex. I know it was your ex. And I was like, that don't make no sense because the ex that in my mind, I'm saying this, the ex that I had dated, he and I had no contact with each other. And he was not the type to just pop up at your house. That ain't his style. Not to mention, and I ain't tell Legion this, that man would not be caught dead driving a Dodge Charger. He hated Chargers because he drove it as a patrol car. So I didn't say anything. I just was like, that's weird. So what Legion didn't know is that at the time I had a security system. So I had a security system
Oh shit.
where anytime the front door, the garage door, or the back door was open, basically any entry point, anytime it was open or closed, it would send me a text message notification. So when he's telling me all this, I'm
Hold
looking.
on, I gotta pause this. So this man been living with you all this time and didn't know there was a security system in the home?
That was good for her.
But I think it's BS. I'm sorry. I don't believe this part.
She
Yeah, like
needs some cameras though. Fuck a text message.
yeah. Now it
And
would be
then
good,
it
but
gonna
I
say
that
front door open. You're gonna hear that, right? I know I hear mine.
yeah. He's been living with you, and he's not aware that you had a security system in the home.
Oh, so y'all just realizing it was a story?
Shut up, Vega.
We ain't saying all of that. We just saying that part, Banger.
It's a good one though. It's a good one. Got everybody intrigued, you know.
Okay, let's get back to here. Let's get back to here.
I'm looking at my phone and I see a notification where the front door was opened and it was shut all within the same minute. So, for example, if it says front door open at 1 p.m., front door closed at 1 p.m. So, whatever he did was within those 60 seconds. He's telling me the story of the guy got out the car. He opened the door. He went out there. Can I help you? And the guy said, I'm looking for, and Legion said, no, she's not here. And so he said the guy kind of was like, okay. And he was like, all right, thank you. And got in the car and drove off. Legion has also told me that he watched him drive out of the neighborhood, which means because of the way the house was set up, the townhouse, he would have still been outside watching this. I could be wrong, but something in me was like, that would take more than 60 seconds. So for the door to have been open and shut within the same 60 seconds, I was like, mm, mm. Okay. So also what he didn't know, we didn't have a Ring door camera, but my neighbor did. And her Ring door camera caught my driveway. The view of the camera could see my driveway as well as her driveway, and so whoever was coming in the door, our driveways were right next to each other, and then on the other side of it was the grass. So it was a perfect view of my driveway. So I text her and I said, hey, were you home? I think I texted her the next day because I said, were you home on Saturday? Da, 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 da. And she said, no, I wasn't. What's up? Everything good? And I said, can you look at your security system and see if there was a car that came to my house at such and such time? And I know I did not tell her the reason I was asking, but I was like, is there any way that your security camera caught if someone came to my house at this time on Saturday? She's like, yeah, sure, I'll look. And so maybe about a couple of hours later, she texted me back and said, hey, I looked at the camera, but I didn't see anything. And I said, okay, by any chance, did it catch if someone maybe walked up the driveway? Like maybe it wasn't a car in the driveway, but someone walked up. She said, I didn't see anything with your driveway yesterday. So I said, okay. And I knew that something in me again was like, nobody came to the house. So now here we are, a month and a half married. And now is when I'm like, why the fuck did he make that up? Because no one came to the house. No black Charger came to the house, pulled back into the driveway. Nobody got out the car and asked for me. Nobody was looking for me. So now I was sitting in the bedroom thinking through all this, and I'm like, fuck did he make that up? Because that's what happened. I'm looking at the text messages on my phone where he's telling me someone just came to the house looking for you, but no one came. So what was the purpose of that? And then something said to me, something in me said, he wanted to see your reaction. He just wanted to see the reaction. You had been too calm, and so he wanted to see a reaction. So this man gaslit me like I was Georgia Natural Gas just to get a reaction. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 20 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Okay, part 18.
Okay, let me see the comments. Okay, Vixie said he wasn't investing, so why is she? That should have been a red flag. Uh, Linda's talking about Curly's emoji. Curly, does that cookie stand for BS? Here's Curly's emoji.
That's exactly what it
Uh,
stands for.
Linda P said she could have told this part in 1 minute. She dragging it out now. Joni said she playing in our faces. Linda P said, right, Joni. She saw all those followers and viewers going up on TikTok. Y'all funny.
It said, "Let me continue."
Uh-huh. Gold Digger said, exactly, Kenny. I don't believe that either because every time you open a door, the security system speaks to you and tells you which door opens, as well as sending you a message. Yeah, that part I'm not, because that man been living with you. So now, as you guys know, look, I can only take so much of this, and this is a long thing. We're gonna hit our last episode of the night, and I'm imploring you guys, don't watch it ahead. We're watching it together. We're watching this together. And then I'm gathering so much other stuff from all these people, you know. Of course, Legion got his TikTok. He see her making all this money. He on TikTok, you know. The stepson. Last night we played the ex-wife, trying to get in on it too. So we're about to play our last episode, and plus, our attention spans, like mine at least, I can only take so much. I'll just speak for myself. I don't know how people have gone down the rabbit hole and watched all 52 episodes. That's just wild to me to sit. Yeah. So let's go to our last part of the night, part 20.
All right, part 20 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So after the black Dodge Charger incident, things were quiet. Legion was fine. Legion slept just fine. Me, that shit played over in my head for days and days and days. On one hand, I was like, I know nobody came. My head knew nobody came to the house. My heart was like, but maybe he didn't make it up. So the head and the heart were absolutely playing a tug of war because, again, I really couldn't fathom that he was making it up. But nevertheless, I filed it in the back of my mind in my little filing cabinet, my mental filing cabinet. So a few weeks later, we go out to eat at this restaurant in Atlanta. It's a burger place, and I'm going to do my best by the time I post this to put the name of the burger place on the screen. So we go to the burger place, eat dinner. Everything was fine. As we are leaving, he says to me, did I ever show you where my grandmother is buried? This is the grandmother that passed away from COVID in 2020. And I said, no. I was like, we haven't been over here. And so he was like, let me show you. So he drives us to the cemetery, which is not far from the restaurant. He drives us to the cemetery, goes around and around, and then it comes to like a little hill in the cemetery. And he was like, you see the headstone. The headstone had like the family name on it. And it did not have, for example, John David Doe. It just had Doe. Okay. So there were no dates on it. So it reminded me of just a headstone where it was probably multiple family members buried underneath it. That's what it reminded me of. And so he was like, my grandfather and my grandmother are buried there. I do recall him telling me when the grandmother died in 2020 that she wanted to be buried next to his grandfather. And so we're sitting in the car because we can see the headstone like on top of the hill from the car. And he tells me that that is where his grandmother and grandfather are buried, that the family was able to get her, her wishes were to be buried next to the grandfather. Okay. So as we are leaving, we take a different route home. So we get on the highway. If you're from Atlanta, you'll know what I'm talking about. We get on I-75 North. And we're kind of we're just driving around, to be honest with you. But we're taking the scenic route. We get on I-75 North because the reason why I remember is because when you're on I-75 North going towards Atlantic Station, on the right-hand side, you will see the Varsity. You'll see all these tall skyscraper buildings. One of the buildings has the letters NCR on the building. As we're coming up towards the building, he says to me, do you see the NCR building? I said, yeah. He said, the building behind it, my job bought that building. That's where we're going to have, we're setting up operations. And I was like, why the hell would y'all buy a condiment company in downtown Atlanta? He was like, no, we're not doing production there. It's just going to be offices. And that's where we're going to handle like the business portion. The production is still being done in Gwinnett County out in Duluth. And so I was like, oh, okay. He was like, that's where I keep the company car. So I was like, the company car? I said, aren't you supposed to be bringing the company car home? And he was like, I don't want to bring the company car home because it's Clayton County and it's a $90,000 car. And I don't want no problems. So he's telling me that he keeps the company car at the building downtown Atlanta that's behind the NCR building. I barely could see what building he's talking about, but he was like, it's the building right behind it. And so he's telling me that that's where his office is. So I said to him, take me to your office. I know it's a Saturday, but shit, you one of the VPs, right? So take me to your office. No, I had not been to his office simply because, again, COVID. So I was like, take me to your office. And he was like, I can. He was like, that's no problem. So do I have the other phone? I do. So y'all are in luck. So I can maybe reenact how this goes. So he gets off the exit and starts driving towards the NCR building. While he's driving towards the NCR building, he always has kept his phone in his left pocket. This is my left hand. So he pulls his phone out and he starts calling. He tells me he's calling Willie. Willie is supposed to be the head of security. So he's saying, let me call Willie real quick to make sure that the building's open. So he proceeds. This is another phone, but he proceeds to go ahead and call Willie. We're still driving, by the way. We're still driving. I'm on the phone, scrolling through Facebook, trying to figure out some random shit. But he's driving with the phone up to it. So driving with the phone, next thing I hear, hey, Willie, it's Legion. Hey, how's it going? I'm good. Hey, is the building open? No, I just want to take my wife up there so she can see it and see my office. Are you up there right now? You're not? Okay, is Mr. Justin working? Okay. So is there anybody up there that can physically open the building? Because I don't think my badge is going to get me at least in the front door because of it's on the weekend lock. Okay. Okay. All right, let me know. All right. Thank you, Willie. Bye. Y'all see how I did that? He's having this whole conversation while I'm sitting in the passenger seat. So then he gets off the phone and he says to me, Willie is not working and Justin apparently called out sick. So the building is locked and my badge won't get us in the front door. He was like, Willie's going to see if there's someone else that can open the front door so we can actually get in. He's like, my badge will get us on the floor, but it will not get us in the front door. No one ever called. So when he's getting off the highway, he basically turns onto Spring Street. Again, there's all kinds of shit I distinctly remember. He turns onto Spring Street so that he can then get on 75 South so we can go home. Never saw the office that day. But again, this is where he's saying that he keeps the company car. So when we get to part 21, I'll kind of go into detail about the whole company car a little bit more. All right, part 20 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So after the black Dodge Charger incident, things were quiet. Legion was fine. Legion slept just fine. Me, that shit played over in my head for days and days.
Okay, so that was a quick little episode. Okay, you guys. Okay. Thank you for the super sticker, Gold Digger. I appreciate you.
He
Like
said,
this,
it's just crazy.
this is a crazy story, you guys. And look, I have to do it in doses. So meet me here tomorrow, probably about 9 o'clock.
All
We're gonna
right.
get we're gonna get to 10 more episodes. But Linda P just
It's
sent me
9 o'clock your time.
yeah, my time, my time. And if y'all
Please
need, if y'all
start at 9 and not 8:30.
okay, see, I caught you off guard when I went a few minutes early. But look,
Yes, you
before
did.
we go, before we go, Linda P just sent me something that had I almost well, I did holler. Let me show y'all what she sent me, y'all. This is this is Legion's approval letter.
And then they got the Chiefs on it. Oh my gosh. I want to be so loud right now, but I can't.
What
Linda,
it
go in
say?
the corner. That's it. Go in the corner.
What it say?
And that's what you're gonna settle for.
You're
Hell
approved.
no.
And when he say, and that's when you're gonna settle.
Look at the screen. And that's what you're gonna settle for.
And that's when you're gonna settle for. That's what he said. And that's what you're gonna settle for.
But y'all, guess
Oh
what?
my god.
Her husband speaks out now
Oh, he's speaking out. The husband is speaking out. Thank you
on
for the
it's
super sticker,
on it's
Curly Cookie. I appreciate you.
her name
Oh
is
man.
Reese Teresa ex-husband and his first wife speak out
Oh,
on the
we already
marriage.
showed him. Yes, by the end of the 10 that we did last night, we
Mm-hmm.
showed him. So we're getting all the stuff together with him, and the son has come out, but we got to get the story first, you
Well,
know.
it's
So
I'm getting ready to watch that now.
no, wait for us.
All right, but damn, I already watched that bitch and all her crazy shit. Damn.
Okay. So you guys, it has been fun tonight, and thank you guys for waiting and let's watching this together.
Express
This crazy
Radio got
story.
it. So go and record it. Express Radio got it on.
Express Radio. I don't know where that is,
He's
but
on
I'll check it.
StreamYard. It's powered by StreamYard.
Okay, I'll try to look for it on YouTube because that's what most people are doing is with the YouTube and then using
Yeah, I
StreamYard.
got it on YouTube now.
Okay, now Banger has a live setup, so if you're members over there, you guys
He
go
on there
ahead
now?
and he should be live right now. Should have it set
Okay.
up. So
Uh,
look for the members live. So we're gonna go back over there. I know Coco was gonna do a movie, but I don't think people wanted to do that particular movie, because we did see the color purple. We did
well,
see
it's
that one
telling. He's
when
saying
it
this
came out.
bitch to who
Okay.
the fuck did I marry? Speak out after social
Linda,
media
are you sure
user.
we could trust you?
Look, y'all.
Uh, what is Linda
Who is
saying?
this talking? Linda said, "Oh, and don't worry, I won't watch anything, Candy. You can trust me." But earlier she said that
Bitch.
she did watch a little bit of. the 11 through 20 part, Candace.
But don't you getting the tea for me, Linda, and send it to me. But don't
Say it.
watch it. You gotta wait.
Yes,
So
tell her
okay.
she gotta wait.
Yes, don't watch it. So,
You
okay, you
say it.
guys, we're getting out of here. And once again, thank you guys. Please hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. And we will see
Love
you
y'all.
tomorrow night. Bye, everybody.
Okay, love y'all.
Bye.
Go watch it, y'all. All right. Have a good night.